There we are. Here we are. It's Friday, 17th of September, 2020. It's 8:30 p.m. here in Rome, and we're coming live from NEMI, the venue of our 37th General Chapter. We are already on the third day since the chapter was officially opened, and welcome to Chapter Chat. If you're joining us for the first time, where have you been all this time? But better late than never. Good to have you with us. Welcome. We have an exciting 30 minutes program tonight, and before I introduce my very special guests this evening, let's first find out what happened in the chapter hall today. I have my brother Tonino in the other room with the chapter updates. Greetings, Tony. How are you? How are things?
Hey, Bonga, doing good, doing good. You know, we just finished having supper, so I'm doing really well.
Great, great. Tell us what took place in the chapter today. Please give us a summary of this day. What happened in NEMI?
Yeah, definitely. On this third day of the chapter, the participants, they devoted the whole morning to prayer. Father Gregory Aroxiami, superior of the Scholasticate, had a retreat on discernment. And that was the basis of the retreat. After a time of silent personal prayer, they gathered in small groups for sharing. The retreat ended with the celebration of the Eucharist, presided by Father Cornelius Nikolka, who's the Assistant General, and who was celebrating also his birthday. In the afternoon, the session was devoted to electing the members of the different internal committees that will function during the chapter. Each committee is composed of 5 oblates from each of the regions of the congregation. These were the capitulants who were elected. For the steering committee, we have Raymond Wangala, Christian Finney, Ariel Martinez, Kenneth Thorson, and Leo Filamon. For the finance committee, we have Peter Claver Anucha, Slaumir Kalish, Sergio Serrano, Richard Baudet, and Mark Kemseke. For the election committee, we have Louis Del Duo, Eugene Benedict, Jorge Albergati, Antonio Ponce, and Wojciech Populewski. The Vicar General, Father Pablo Archiati, in the afternoon, he presented a report on the previous general chapter.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Tony. Now,
Sure.
you know, part of our mission during this program, the chapter chat, is also to try and capture the spirit of the chapter and communicate it with our viewers at home. Tell me, how is the feeling? How are the participants? How are the capitulants? What's the spirit that is animating these guys these days here in NEMI?
You know, the spirit is really, really strong here. It's very good. There's high spirits, a lot of good conversations going on. The capitulants have been having these opportunities to interact amongst themselves, so it's really vibrant. You can feel the spirit here.
Awesome. This evening we had an amazing sunset just before dinner. It was like the warmest feeling ever. I think we all felt that the spirit was present thanks to that sunset as well, a very visible, a tangible sign of the presence of the spirit. And it is important, I think it's a very important thing you've just highlighted, that the retreat was on discernment. We know that the chapter is all about that. They have to discern, listen to what God is saying, what God is asking of us as a congregation, as a family in this day. So it is very significant that the chapter begins with a retreat on discernment. Our capitulars are invited to discern the will of God so they can communicate that to the whole congregation. So thank you very much, Tony, for this report. Tony, we are joined by some very special guests this evening. Who are they? Please welcome and introduce our guests to us.
Yes, Bongo. Well, this evening we have with us some of our lay people who have been invited to the chapter by the Superior General. There are 7, 5 women and 2 men from all the different regions of the congregation. All of them were involved in the preparation of the Oblate Associations Congress held on May 27 to the 29th, simultaneously in different parts of the world, connected online.
Great, great, and that's exciting. And what is expected of them in the chapter, if you know?
Well, they have to tell us, but I know that they will report the conclusions of the Congress to the chapter and give some reflections about their experience of the charism and maybe some really, really good proposals.
That sounds awesome. I believe they represent the various lay associations in the congregation and the Oblate Lay in general. Is that correct, Tony?
Yes, Bonga, that's correct. We have with us, I believe, Sandra Prather from Canada, North American region. She is the coordinator of the group. Then we have Gigi Velasquez Espinosa from the Philippines, who represents the Asia Oceania region Oblate laity. Pauline Thomas from Wales, United Kingdom, represents the European region. Sebastian Cortez from Chile, Latin America, Caribe region. Michele Mubekeo from Cameroon, Francophone Africa, Madagascar sub-region. Mildred March from South Africa, Anglophone Africa, Madagascar sub-region. Stefano Dominici from Italy, who represents the central working team that prepared the OLAC 22. They have had already some meetings online during the summer months, accompanied by Father Peter Stoll and Father David Lopez. They arrived at NEMI on Monday, September 13th.
Great. I must witness that it's been good to have these lay people, lay associates, having them participating in the liturgies and in meals with the capitulas. I believe that these days they are working hard aside by themselves to prepare the message which they will deliver to the chapter on Saturday, the 17th in the afternoon. That is tomorrow.
Tomorrow, that's correct, Bonga. And so, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Chapter Chat. It's so good to have you all here with us. And thank you for your availability this evening.
Good, great, welcome. And I will begin and ask you a few questions. If you could please briefly introduce yourselves and briefly share with us about your thoughts these days. How do you feel about being here? We'll start with you, Sandra, and then we'll go to Mildred maybe. But Sandra, how do you feel by being here? What is the sentiment that you find deep in your heart?
Hi, it's great excitement, but also a feeling that came over me at the opening mass and at the opening ceremonies of a great responsibility that we carry, I think, a responsibility to so many of the Oblate family to try to speak authentically and with vision to present the hopes and the dreams. So it's tremendously exciting. It's very moving. I have found myself emotional many times, but it's a delight to be here.
Awesome. Thank you, Sandra. Mildred, please briefly introduce yourself and share with us your feelings about being here.
It's Mildred March from Africa, representing Africa, Madagascar, Anglophone English-speaking region. It has been great for me. It's been a great honor for me to be invited to the chapter. I cannot explain how overwhelmed it feels to be here, and I was so greatly welcomed. For that, I am grateful. I will be speaking on the charism. I'll be speaking on the charism of our founder, Saint Eugene the Maslot. I have to start by quoting the Gospel of Luke 4, verse 18, where it says, "You have been sent to give good news to the poor, tell prisoners that they are prisoners no more." So that text resonates with me, that it has really affected me by making me look at myself and start looking at what I can do for the next person, what I can do for the less fortunate, for those who are less fortunate than myself, who have less than me, by contributing the little bit that I can, maybe by giving them food, giving them a listening ear, or just being there for them.
Awesome. Great. Thank you, Mildred, and welcome. We'll cross over to the Philippines. We have as well Gigi. I think you are from the Philippines, isn't it? Welcome, Gigi. Please introduce yourself and share with us your thoughts about being here.
Hi, I'm Gigi from the Philippines, and I am so blessed and happy to be invited here at the 37th OMI General Chapter. This is my second time. The first time was during the 2004 34th General Chapter. So I'm just so blessed that I've been invited again to share on the Oblate Lay's vision for the congregation. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Gigi, and welcome. We have also somebody from the UK. Pauline, are you there? Would you like to share introduce yourself?
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm Pauline Thomas. I'm living in Wales, UK, and representing the European region. It's a wonderful occasion to be here at the chapter, and I think really significant that we've been invited to be present in person to speak of the hopes and dreams that Sandra was saying that we listened to and that were reported at the second Oblate Lay Associations Congress. So as Sandra said, I feel it's a great responsibility to give voice to those hopes and dreams for the future. But yes, we've received a wonderful, warm welcome and been given a real sense of acceptance and belonging as members of the Oblate family.
Great. Thank you very much, Pauline. Nous avons aussi quelqu'un de Cameroun. Ma sœur, je vous laisse la parole, à vous.
Bonsoir, je suis Michel Mbeke depuis le Cameroun. Je porte la voix de la sous-région francophone Afrique-Madagascar. Je dirais que c'est une opportunité exceptionnelle pour moi qui m'a été accordée afin d'être présente aux assises de ce 37e chapitre général. La communion est servie, la communion est au rendez-vous. Depuis la diversité de la composition de l'équipe de préparation, une fois arrivés sur le terrain, nous avons pu davantage toucher du doigt cette réalité de la diversité, mais qui converge absolument dans la communion. Merci.
Très bien. Merci beaucoup d'être avec nous. We have men as well. I think you've just been hearing ladies speaking, and you're wondering. Hay los hombres también. Preséntalo, Sebastian. Sebastian, are you there with us?
Sí. Yes.
Bueno.
Hello, hola, aquí estoy.
Hola, ¿qué tal?
Bueno, si me repite la pregunta en español, por favor, que no lo tengo aquí.
Que te puedes presentar, dinos un poco de ti.
Muy bien, sí, disculpa. Bueno, mi nombre es Sebastián Cortés Cruz, estoy enviado por América Latina y el Caribe para poder representar todo el proceso de escucha, incluso podríamos decir sinodal, que se ha llevado a nuestra congregación. Tuvimos la oportunidad de comenzarlo en Latinoamérica y el Caribe el 2020 y bendito sea Dios que se han unido los cauces para poder justamente traer esta voz. Y es muy importante lo que está ocurriendo porque los que somos más antiguas de la iglesia, sabemos que hay una jerarquía que a veces se impone, pero en nuestra congregación es muy raro que eso ocurra, es muy extraño. Somos más de ser una familia. Y en ese espíritu ahora se quiere ver justamente cómo nuestra pertenencia a la congregación, no en búsqueda de poder, sino que en búsqueda de servicio, en búsqueda de poder extender el reino, se está haciendo patente. Y todos estos días, bueno, Antonio, Bonga, ha sido interesante porque ha sido de muchos signos. Uno de esos signos, como signo de los tiempos, es que de este equipo, que muy bueno, nos hemos sabido escuchar muy bien, gracias a Dios. Uno, primero, somos laicas y laicos. Y segundo, como ha sido en la iglesia, durante mucho tiempo son más mujeres que varones. Así que ya eso también es otro signo de la realidad de nuestra iglesia y de que algo quiere el Espíritu Santo y que nada lo puede detener. Eso.
Bueno, muchas gracias. Bienvenido, mi hermano. Contentissimo di accoglierti, Stefano. Presentati per favore. Ciao.
Sì, ciao a tutti, sono Stefano Dominici, sono un laico associato italiano e faccio parte, sono membro dell'AMMI, che in Italia diciamo sarebbe MAMI. Ok, che cosa significa per me essere qui? Beh, anzitutto, come hanno detto anche gli altri, è un grandissimo onore e un grandissimo privilegio. Anzi, più che privilegio, forse è meglio dire una grande grazia, che cerchiamo di vivere davvero con uno spirito di unità e di comunione tra noi. Tra noi laici che siamo qui per lavorare insieme agli Oblati a questo capitolo, e devo dire una delle cose che ancora una volta mi ha sorpreso è stato il senso di famiglia, di benvenuto, di accoglienza che c'è stato. Nella mia vita, posso dire, a contatto con gli Oblati, mi è capitato tante volte di incontrare comunità dove ti senti subito a casa, ti senti subito nella tua famiglia. Avevo timore che il capitolo generale fosse un'occasione un pochino più formale, un po' più, come dire, importante, e invece la sensazione è la stessa. Con moltissimi padri non ci conosciamo di persona, eppure nei corridoi, nel cortile qui fuori, è come se ci guardassimo e ci sentissimo fratelli. Quindi davvero una sensazione di famiglia. Grazie, grazie di questa accoglienza.
Benissimo, grazie Stefano. Mi piace molto questa parola che hai utilizzato, siamo in famiglia. This is what we are a family, and we are united in this one mission. I have one question which I'm not sure one of you will answer, whoever would like to answer this question, but listening to you introducing yourselves, I have no doubt that you have individually journeyed with the Oblates for quite some time. And I am convinced of the fact that you have somehow appropriated and grasped the Oblate Charism. How has the charism of St. Eugene affected you in your personal life? What is your personal experience of the charism? Whoever would like to take that question, please go ahead.
Personnellement, j'ai rencontré les Oblats en 2008, date de la création officielle également de l'association dans la province du Cameroun, c'est-à-dire Cameroun, Tchad et Nigeria. Qu'est-ce que j'ai retenu de tout ce que j'ai appris, entendu de Sainte Eugène de Masnote? Son héritage. Évangéliser les pauvres, vivez par-delà tout la charité, la charité, la charité. C'est sûr que j'ai vécu la charité auparavant, mais désormais, cette phrase a eu une autre résonance dans mon oreille et je lui ai donné une autre coloration. Je suis désormais plus attentive dans le don, l'attention, la compassion, la disponibilité et le silence pour faire place à l'écoute des autres. Merci, Eugène Masnote.
Très bien, merci beaucoup, Michel.
Yeah, you know.
Okay.
Tony, you can go ahead, Tony.
Yes.
Sorry. It just got me thinking. Said, for us as Oblates, sometimes we often forget how much you also contribute to us and to our own ministry and to whatever we do, and how much you help us in our own personal journeys. It's easy for us to see how we help you guys, but it's also important for us to reflect and see how important it is that you're with us in this journey. How do you see yourselves contributing to our lives, and how can we intensify our collaboration in this mission?
Yeah, we'll come back to you, Pauline. We'll respond. I know exactly what you wanted to say, but we'll come back to you. Whoever would like to respond to Tony, please go ahead.
Okay, I would like to answer that one by starting by saying I don't think it's up to us to tell how you benefit from us being in your Oblate family. I think Donio just said it. I can tell you what Oblates in my province and my district have said when we meet as small in our basic Oblate communities, when we share faith days, when we are in mission together. One of the most profound things I have heard them say, and I've heard them say it year after year after year, is the love for Eugene and the charism that they see in the Oblate family, the Lay Oblate family, inspires them to maybe reignite their own passion and their own love for Eugene and the charism.
Mm-hmm.
I think a little bit sometimes being in Oblate life for a long time, you lose your first fervor. And many of the Oblate family, the lay associations, have a first fervor. And we bring that energy and the desire to share it into the Oblate communities. And I have heard Oblates say they very much appreciate that. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Sandra. Pauline, I think you would like to share with us as well, once again, your personal experience of the charism. Go ahead.
Thank you. Yes, my first encounter with the Oblates was when I was a teenager in the 1970s, and my parents were working with an Oblate in South Kensington, London, and they were developing a shelter housing aid centre there. And Father Paul Byrne was a frequent visitor in the house. So we picked up, obviously with working with those with housing difficulties and so on. That was very much part of our lives growing up as children. And then I went into my teaching career. But in 2006, I reconnected with the Oblates and actually took a risk and moved from one side of the country, the northeast, to the west, to Wales, to take a job in full-time pastoral ministry with the Oblates there. And I've been working with them full-time since 2006. I think several words spring to mind is a joy, accompanying people, being close to the people, and also being in the cross of their lives with them. And so that's very much before me in my work and working with and alongside the Oblates. And I can say that I've worked with different Oblates over the years since 2006, and all of them carry and exude that same charism of compassion, of just being really close to the people and alongside. And so, yeah, it's been a really enriching experience which goes on. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Pauline. I like what you say there about taking a risk. It's all about taking this risk, and once you've taken that risk, you find that joy, you find everything you have said. Thank you for that. Another question I would like to ask you, anyone of you can respond to this. What is the importance and the significance of your presence as lay people at this chapter?
Sebastian.
Sebastian. Okay. Me disculpe, I could have asked in Spanish.
No, don't worry, Bonga. Estamos en un capítulo. Para las personas que no están acostumbrados a este lenguaje, el capítulo es un espacio cada muchos años, en el caso de nuestra congregación 6, donde se toman decisiones importantes de cómo va a seguir la congregación. Incluso se cambia la dirección general de la congregación para asumir nuevos desafíos. Esas decisiones por lo general se toman entre el personal consagrado. Este año también será así. Sin embargo, se nos ha dado el espacio para que laicas y laicos podamos expresar las necesidades que hay de nuestro estado de vida, de cómo podemos colaborar con la misión, incluso más que colaborar, de ser conscientes de cómo misionamos sin ser cura, sin ser monja, sin ser hermano, sino que aportando a lo que es el reino. Y estos espacios de diálogo que uno a veces dice, pero ¿cómo esto debiera estar siempre? No han estado siempre. Por lo tanto, es toda una novedad. Y si bien, vuelvo a insistir, como decía recién, la congregación nuestra siempre ha sido muy familiar. En este espacio particular de toma de decisiones se nos está preguntando. Y ha sido un proceso largo donde se le ha preguntado a todos los continentes. Es histórico. Creo que esa es la palabra que lo define mejor. Es histórico. This, my teacher.
Bravo.
Thank you.
You know, I have a question. I have a further up question. You know, I believe that they mentioned that they'll be presenting a report tomorrow evening, if my mind serves me correctly. So I would like to see or hear if they can share us a little bit, some aspects of the report that they will be presenting tomorrow to the chapter.
Stefano.
So, Stefano. In Italia. Parleremo del secondo congresso delle associazioni laicali oblate che si è celebrato da poco nel mese di maggio. Come molti di voi già sanno, è durato 3 giorni e ha rappresentato un'esperienza di grandissima e profonda comunione tra tutti i laici che vi hanno partecipato, e non solo i laici, ma anche tutti i missionari oblati, soprattutto quelli che lavorano più a stretto contatto con i laici, che pure hanno preso parte a questo congresso. Il congresso si è svolto soprattutto nella sua parte centrale in una forma di collegamento in diretta mondiale, che è durato 3 ore per ognuno dei 3 giorni del congresso. In più, oltre a questi momenti di diretta mondiale che hanno permesso per la prima volta nel mondo di mettere in collegamento tutti gli oblati laici, tutti i laici oblati presenti nel mondo. Per la prima volta questo è successo. E insieme a questi momenti di diretta mondiale ci sono stati degli incontri a livello regionale, dove le persone sono state presenti fisicamente, si sono incontrate e hanno scambiato esperienze. Oltre a questo ci sono stati anche degli incontri a livello di unità, di singole unità di province. Quindi che cosa dire? Da questo congresso è uscita fuori tantissima vita, tantissime esperienze sono state raccontate, condivise, scambiate. E, oltre questo, durante i 3 giorni del congresso è stato possibile raccogliere tutte le riflessioni fatte sulla base di 3 temi che erano e sono comunione, formazione e missione. Questi 3 temi erano stati divulgati in un workshop nella fase di preparazione del congresso, quindi prima del congresso. Sono stati divulgati a tutti i laici nel mondo e quindi questi laici, noi laici, abbiamo potuto lavorare su queste domande, su questo workshop. Durante il congresso abbiamo raccolto tutte le riflessioni, i desideri, le speranze, e di questo noi verremo a parlare domani, di tutto quello che è stato l'esperienza di vita del congresso e di tutte quelle che sono le riflessioni raccolte, le esperienze e le speranze. Desideri, speranze di una vita che sia sempre più ispirata al carisma, oblato ovviamente, e vissuta sempre più in stretta comunione tra noi laici e i missionari ioni. Questo parleremo domani.
Bene, benissimo, grazie Stefano. Spero sì.
Bonga.
Go ahead, Sandra.
I was just going to say, as you can see, it's not an aperitif. It is a 7-course banquet tomorrow.
It's very true. Thank you, Sandra, for that. And we hope that this report, of course, will be made available to the whole congregation, and more lay people, lay associates will benefit from your experience and from what you will share with the chapter tomorrow afternoon. I know that before we conclude, there is a lot of people following us online. I've seen messages coming up. I would like to greet you. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. There are many messages. We're not going to be able to read them all. There is Rosy Gonzalez right now, who is just reading bendiciones, hermanos laicos, Sebastiano, un abrazo. But before we conclude, there is Gigi. Gigi, I think Gigi will respond to this question. What message would you like to communicate to our viewers, especially to the entire Oblate family?
Yes, we, the Oblate Lay Associations, are in communion with the whole Oblate family and our dear Oblates in your mission. Thank you.
Good. Thank you very much, Gigi. Tony.
Good. Thank you all for being with us. Thank you for being not just tonight here at the chapter chat, but thank you all of our lay people who are here with us during this chapter. It's been a real blessing to get to know all of y'all, and we're really excited to hear the message you're going to give the chapter tomorrow.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Well done. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. May God bless you all, and have a good evening. Have a beautiful day tomorrow. We'll be there with you, and thank you for everything you've done for us, and thank you above all for your prayers and for embracing the charism of Saint Eugene de Mazenod. Let's set this world afire with the charism. God loves you, and may God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.